Hey guys, welcome back to ED Figure. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Today we're going to take a look at a Bring Arts action figure, Tifa and Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. And for those of you who collect action figure on a regular basis, you guys know that these are not the best action figures. And I'm strictly comparing to SH Figuarts here because that's mainly what I collect. The durability is not there, the accessory count is not there, and these are premium price tag. They're more expensive than Tamashii Web in some cases, and yeah, it's quite ridiculous, and I think that's just how Square Enix wants to play it. Their IP is just so strong. Even though I don't like it, I'm still gonna go all in. And I thought the line is gonna slow down or be dead, but they're apparently releasing the whole Turk team. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments on what you think. And yeah, I think this review is mostly gonna be like just action posing because it really doesn't come a whole lot. But again, they do look great. It's just that if you want to pose around with them, it's just not that great. But if they're standing there, they're actually beautiful. They are beautiful figures, don't get me wrong, but it is what it is, and let's check them out. And here's the figure still in there in the packaging, looking absolutely beautiful. And again, the more I think about it, the more it bothers me, right? Like Cloud, Sephiroth, and Barret, none of them has interchangeable faces or heads, and that's just really annoying to me. I know in this art style, they don't have that many expressions, but come on, man. Like, they obviously can do it. I've seen them done it, like, so I don't really care for the figure stand, and yeah, it's just very disappointing that they're so beautiful and with just one face, and like at least give us like one more weapon or something. I don't know. Alright, and here we have the figures itself, and given everything we talked about, surprisingly these are not too bad out of the box. My first impression is okay, but bear in mind my expectation is very low. The benchmark for these is that they are sturdy out of the box and they don't break easily, which they are, which is thankfully really good. But again, I really don't like the way they designed their joints. The ball joint and like the ankle pivot, everything about it is like just really garbage, because it's loose where it's not supposed to be loose and too tight where it's not supposed to be tight. And over time they're gonna get loose for sure. And even if they're too tight right now, if you put shock oil on it, you're never getting back the sturdiness, which is very annoying. Just to show you an example here, for the shoulder on all of these figures, the shoulder part here, let me just focus that. So the shoulder part over here, this is super sturdy, so I can't really move her arm easily right now if there's a lot of friction fighting back. But if I put shock oil in it, I'm never getting this sturdiness back, which is very annoying. And another thing I hate about these figure is the ankle pivot. Like, this part is just so tight. You guys can see, like, it's just like a peg over here, peg over the leg. But when I'm doing like the ankle pivot, this is so tight I can't move it, and I feel like I run into the risk of like breaking it, and my Tifa's foot is like forever crooked. And if you look at like the foot over here, this thing is like not even aligned, and I can't even like hinge it properly. Like, I don't know, like this is just really annoying for such a prestigious brand. And yeah, I hate it. And for Sephiroth, I don't know how many of you seen the videos, but there's no way for him to hold the weight of his katana. Like, this thing is designed to fail. Like, it's loose as soon as like you put it on. It's really annoying. And then for the leg, this is never gonna hold. Like, this is already very loose. My right leg is okay, but as you guys can hear that, like, you're not hearing it over here. That's because like this one is already loose, and it's loose out of the box, so this is really annoying. But anyways, like, the way to design these joints is just, it's impossible to like hold over time, especially if you're playing around with it. So these are basically just action figure statues, in my opinion. But yeah, let's just take a closer look at these two girls. But I don't think there's anything you guys haven't seen already. It looks like they walk out straight from like the older games, which is really nice because they are beautiful. And yeah, like, the paint job is really clean. I don't have any issues. Yeah, the hairstyle is nice, like the shading, everything about it is really nice. And I'm actually quite surprised what they've done here with the skirt piece for Aerith. This is super soft. Like, this is exactly how I think SH Figuarts would have done it if they were to do it as well. So yeah, this is really cool. So they are trying. It's just that whoever is trying doesn't want to like spend the money or whatever. Or I don't know, maybe like some rich kid took over the business and, you know, just trying to prove something. I don't know, like, it's just so bad. And they should really hire somebody from SH Figuarts to do it, or just give the IP to SH Figuarts. I don't know. I don't think they're ever gonna do that because obviously they're profitable. So yeah, it is what it is. And let's check out some accessories. They don't got a lot, but you know, we'll check it out. Actually, no. We have to run through the articulation. I forgot. Sorry. And for the articulation, let's quickly go over it from the neck down. Let me zoom in first. So obviously she can't look up because of the hair design here, and then this is just like on a hinge with a ball joint behind her. And then the neck, there's no articulation, but it does look really good. And for the shoulder, like I mentioned earlier, this is just the ball joint. They all have very similar design, even with like Clouds and Sephiroth. You can raise our arm up about this much with the joint over here. And this is like kind of a mix between Figma and, I don't know, Super Action Statues. I'm obviously not an engineer, but speaking from a consumer experience, like this is just very, very bad playing experience. It just doesn't feel good when you're opposing the joint. This is like the minimal they can do for figure engineering, in my opinion. Just slap some ball joint on there, and then I don't know. I feel like some 3D printer can do it nowadays, like the customizers. Even like the third-party companies, like the figure body, it's like just way better than this. Like this is unacceptable for modern standard. But again, like I mentioned earlier, this is like for gamers. They're probably just gonna leave it as this. They're not gonna pose it as much. But yeah, I don't even want to like cover the articulation anymore. It's just so annoying. Like the ab crunch, it's almost non-existent with the design here, but the skirt piece is on a soft material, and this is actually soft enough, which is quite annoying because it's actually quite good. And then you can bend. So like, yeah, I guess like the most annoying thing about this is like you can tell they're trying in some parts, but they're not in like a lot of it. So it's just so half-assed, right? And then you are able to swivel through the thighs over here, and then you can bend. This is quite a lot. This is really good. And then toe hinge. And like I mentioned earlier, like the pivot here is just so bad. I can't move this. Like there's no way for me to like make her stand properly, which is quite annoying. The way to design this, I guess I have to like move this around or like really loosen this, but again, I don't really want to loosen this because it will never go back to being sturdy again. But maybe I do have to heat it up because there's basically no movement here for the ankle pivot, and you can actually tell this is just like a peg that goes in. Like the peg just goes in so deeply, and like it just stuck there. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments on what you think, but that's Tifa's articulation. And for Aerith articulation, that's also go over from the neck down. The ponytail is actually quite nice. You have a hinge over here. That's quite tight. And then you can look up all the way with this very interesting looking design, like I mentioned earlier. And then the neck, again, same thing. And then for the shoulder, we have a hinge. It's exactly the same design with the ball joint. This is really nice, and then you can raise the arm up about this much, and you actually have swivel here, so that's really good. Can bend about this much, and you do have the ball hinge wrist, not ball. I believe it's a peg, right? Yeah, it's a peg. So that's all right. Then let me slowly move this. I don't want to break anything on camera. And for the ab crunch, this is also pretty nice. You can bend forward only about this much, but bend backwards about this much. And the side-to-side movement seems to be quite comfortable. And for the skirt piece, this is on a softer material, and you guys can see the design here. It moves exactly as you imagine. You have like thigh swivels, and then you can move it like that, so that's okay. The leg comes out, and then again, this toe hinge is super tight. A lot of my figures, like from Bring Arts, the toe hinge doesn't actually work. And then again, this very, very annoying design on the ankle pivot where you can't turn. And I believe that's it for the articulation, and let's check out some accessories. And for the accessories, we're going to start with their default expression, and they're both smiling and they look beautiful. At least they got their face right. And next up, we have like a serious fighting face for Tifa and a praying face for Aerith, and they both look great. I like it. And lastly, we just have like some interchangeable hands, very, very minimal. One of them is like praying hands. I think that's nice. And then we have some hands to hold the staff, and then just some like posing hands for Tifa, which not too bad. And then the staff is over here, very nicely painted and sculpted. We can also see some material on it. Very nice. Oh wow, I gotta cut my nails. But anyways, let's check out some action posing. And for the size comparison, let us start with some Bring Arts action figures from the same series, and I think they look amazing together. Even though they don't pose well, they definitely look great. But hopefully one day we can get like the SH Fig Arts version of these characters. Would have been amazing. And next up, we have the good old Dragon Balls. And then we have my favorite, the Narutos. And then we have some of my recent favorites. And next up, we have some JJK and One Piece, and I think they look very good together as well. JJK has been very, very quiet though. One Piece is doing really well. I have at least 5 figures I didn't open yet, but yeah, JJK really needs some love. And lastly, we have some Mayfex and Figmas, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I think these are okay if you are a big fan of Final Fantasy VII, but otherwise, these are super price unfriendly. Unfortunately, I'm a fan, so I must have it, but given the articulation, the accessories, everything, they look good, but yeah, there's just so much to collect nowadays. You're probably better off collecting something else. But if you are just a fan of Final Fantasy VII and don't care about anything else like anime stuff, then you should be fine. But yeah, unless there's something better, these are probably the best we're gonna get for a very long time. But this is Eric. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.